Can you actually make money with a coffee cart? Yes, and I'm going to prove it to you with our real numbers from January to April of 2026 for Quigley Coffee. We started our coffee cart company 5 years ago, and now we're franchising coffee carts and starting them all over the country. And currently we're based in Florida. We own 5 coffee carts, 2 that travel the country, 3 that stay in Central Florida, and we've since launched a Jacksonville Beach coffee cart that's a franchise, and then an Orlando coffee cart that's a franchise. And so here is our revenue per month per territory is what we call them. From January to April, our Sanford Lake Mary territory did $12,182.54. They spent about 19 hours behind bar in 4 months, which is about 4.5 hours a month. So in 4.5 hours a month for 4 months, just over 12 grand in one territory. Our South Orlando territory from January to April has done 31 hours behind bar. That's about 8 hours a month, and has made $25,598.61. Our Central Orlando coffee cart, which was 3 months of a corporate location, and then now our Central Orlando franchise just launched last month, has done $4,711.21. They have about 10 hours behind bar in that territory, which is about 2.5 hours a month. Our Jack's Beach cart just launched a few days ago, but last weekend did their first 3 events, made $1,875.86, and spent about 5 hours behind bar. And then we serviced Miami, a separate territory, and spent about 24 hours behind bar and made $17,678.08. That puts our year-to-date revenue 4 months at $59,376.30, with a total amount of hours served behind bar at 89. Across all these territories, that averages $667.15 per hour, which great, that information is helpful, but it doesn't actually break down the profit margins, because if your revenue is $667 an hour, but it costs you $660 to operate, then you've only made no money. So we're going to get a little bit deeper on what it actually looks like to have the correct margins in the coffee cart industry. Now, I will say the hours that I'm sharing working behind bar is physically working behind bar. As a business owner, as a coffee cart operator, you're physically working behind bar maybe 2 to 4 hours a month, but you are absolutely working as an entrepreneur 24/7. What I call fishing, meaning getting new clients, booking customers, building relationships with local venues, finding partnerships, all that stuff is nonstop as a business owner. But the physical work of being behind bar is good to relate that you can work 30 hours in 4 months and make $25,000 like what we've seen in our South Orlando territory. So let's break down our profit margins year to date across all of our carts. This is assuming that our COGS, our cost of goods, is staying at a healthy 20% or lower. So we received $59,000 of income. 20% being COGS would put $11,875.26. That's given towards all of the things that you give away or that you throw away. Your cups, your syrups, your coffee beans, your milks, anything that you purchase that is considered a cost of goods. Then we're gonna assume a 15% payroll. Now, if you are the owner operator and you are working behind bar, then your profit margin increases because you're paying yourself. But let's say that you have a catering manager or you have baristas that you're paying, we're gonna assume a 15% payroll. So of that 59,000 that's been received year to date in the 4 months, we are going to designate $8,906.45 to that. And then of course, you gotta assume taxes. You gotta pay your taxes, put aside a healthy 10%. That's gonna cover sales tax and possibly your owner expenses as needed. So that's $5,937.63. And then you gotta assume travel. You pay for gas every time you travel somewhere. We wanna make sure that we're prepared for that. That's $1,781.29. Maintenance, this is for machines. If you have any troubleshooting or anything like that you want to be prepared for, we're going to designate 3% towards maintenance. That's $1,781.29. And then we're going to save 5% to marketing. This is going to be your Instagram ads, your booking. Maybe you have vendor fees if you're on a preferred vendors list somewhere and they charge you a monthly fee to be on that list. That's $2,968.82. And this puts your total expenses at $33,250.73. Now, that's assuming the 15% payroll. If you are paying yourself, then the expenses without the payroll is $24,344.28. So the owner profit with the payroll is a 44% profit margin, which is $26,125.57, or without the payroll expense is $35,032.02, which puts you at a 59% margin. Now, obviously, this is us looking at all of our carts at a grand scale over the last 4 months. But even just zooming into one territory, the opportunity for minimal hours and high ticket item bookings is why the coffee cart industry works so well. This is why we decided to franchise coffee carts, because as a business partner, when you choose to operate your own Quigley coffee cart, you're not just starting something from scratch. You're coming right alongside systems that are already working. You're equipped with all of the branding, so you don't have to worry about the graphics, the website design, the workflows. You really truly get a plug and play coffee cart business that essentially gets rid of your first 2 years of trial and error should you try this on your own, and sets you up for success like at year 3 of your business. As the owner, of course, you are the one going and building client relationships, and you are the one pursuing leads, and you are the one getting bookings. But we come right alongside you with pricing structure. You never have to do an event by yourself. If there's trouble, if you have any issues with an event and you need troubleshooting for equipment or anything like that, we are right there with you, training you, equipping you, and you're never alone. And we have had so much fun getting to set up our first 2 business partners in Jacksonville and Orlando with just this very system, and they are actively making bookings, as you can see. And we would love to talk with you about what it would look like if you are interested in starting your own Quigley coffee cart. This is why we're so passionate about launching coffee cart businesses. And as a Quigley Coffee business partner, you come alongside and you are launching a coffee cart business, not by yourself, but with pricing structure, full workflows, website, brand assets, so you don't have to worry about the graphic design or the booking forms or any of that. You are literally handed a plug and play coffee cart business that is ready to go, and you never have to do an event by yourself. We train you, we give you the resources that are necessary, and if you need any help during an event in real time, we're just a phone call away to help you troubleshoot so that your events go successfully and you don't have to guess in any direction. We're really passionate about saying you're essentially starting a coffee cart business in year 3 of business without the 2 years of trial and error that we had to walk through and that everybody has to figure out when they're starting from scratch. And so if you are looking to start a Quigley coffee cart or any coffee cart business, we would love to connect with you. And we're specifically looking for an owner operator in Miami or South Florida, because we know that this is a booming industry. And so if you are there and you're seeing this, or you know somebody who lives there who's considering starting a coffee cart, send them this video and click the link below so we can book an introductory call, because I would love to connect with you, learn your story, and see how the Miami territory could thrive. As you saw, in just 4 months, Miami did $18,000. And currently we're making the drive to go down there, and we would love to have an owner operator set up to succeed. And so we would love to reach out with you and have a conversation. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and comment below if you're in the coffee cart industry. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. And make sure that you subscribe, because we are building this franchise company in real time. We are making all the mistakes in real time. You're going to get to see us build it and win and lose in some ways. And we're going to be documenting everything. So be a part of the journey, and we will see you in our next video.